So I'm going to start with sharing of my screen. So I have a screen shared right now. Okay, so I'm excited to be here with you guys this morning to share some thoughts on blockchain technology opportunities and benefits for Africa. Now, I appreciate everyone that helped to organize this 9th Digital Africa Conference and exhibition, and the opportunity also extended to me to be part of this awesome event. Okay, so I'm starting now. So blockchain technology is made for Africa. Why do I say that? Because we have seen how technology has radically transformed social and economic opportunities for different nations across the world. Part of the reason why Africa is where it is today is because of the bold application of technology for most of our processes. We all know that technology is a key enabler of political, social, and economic transformation. But we have not been that bold in Africa to lay out the infrastructure that can drive such innovations. We practically don't have systems, technology systems that could drive our transformations the way it's supposed to. And that's why when I look at blockchain technology, I see it as a key opportunity for Africans. And, anywhere in Africa is almost the same thing. When I talk about Africa, I have the Nigerian experience as my foundation. And that is partially the same story across different environments in Africa. So this lack of legacy systems has definitely become an opportunity for Africa to rebuild its infrastructures and broken systems. And, until we rebuild these broken systems, these broken infrastructures, we can't move beyond where we are today because we have fundamental trust issues in the way we deal with our fellow Africans, the way we deal with our fellow Nigerians, and so on. But the good news is that, the promise of blockchain technology is enormous and it helps to solve some of these problems. So a blockchain technology, this is not a class to teach you what blockchain technology is, but it will be important to touch this fundamental of blockchain, what it is. It's a distributed digital record of transactions. Distributed digital records of transactions. The transactions could be financial transactions, and it could also be transfer of digital assets, provided it's something that has to do with parties in a trust-led environment. That is what we are talking about here. So first of all, it's distributed. In other words, it's not controlled by any particular system or organization or entity. Secondly, it is secure. Security is part of our problem in Africa because people don't have this confidence that what people say it is what they are. I mean, you could hear a news today, and by the time you wake up in the morning, is an entirely new information that you're getting. But blockchain fixes that problem by securing this transaction on an immutable database. Immutable is another keyword here that is also very important because in a blockchain system, you can't just wake up and you say, I want to delete this record, I want to change this information. You can't possibly do that as easily as, yes, you can. If you can garner 51% of the hash rate of that protocol, you can actually do that, but it's almost an impossible task for anyone to do. Okay, so you can't change what is already embedded on the blockchain records. And it's, again, append only. In other words, you can only add to it. Append only is a key ingredient of what Africa needs. We don't need to falsify. Rather, we can append again, and that new information can update the old one, and we can have both records there. Another issue here is decentralized. There's a key difference between distributed and decentralized. Decentralized here talks about the fact that, okay, it's 100% detached from another, and participants probably don't need to know themselves. So they are independent of each other. We know the pain of centralization. We all know the pain of single point of failure. When probably maybe your bank server is down and you are completely stuck out from further financial transactions because you cannot access your mobile app cannot access the bank's server. The web platform cannot access the bank server. The POS cannot access the bank server because the entire system is centralized, and it makes it almost impossible for businesses to succeed. Then timestamp is another key ingredient, because every one of these records have timestamp on them. Then the hash, which is the backbone of blockchain technology, which is a way of hiding information and creating some kind of security around it as it's being transported from one system to another. Then, voila, transparency. Most of our processes in Africa, whether it's government, whether it's private sector, or whether it's even in individual dealings, many of them lack this important ingredient called transparency. And without transparency, you cannot actually solve the problem of trust. So transparency solves the trust problem, which is a key problem for most of us in Africa. We don't trust our governments. We don't trust our institutions. We don't trust our academic records. We don't trust our customers. We don't trust our politicians. We just have this trust issue everywhere. And when there is no trust, there cannot be any relationship that can be reliable. You can't build reliable relationships without trust. And transparency is one of the ingredients that solves trust issues. Now, let's look at some of the fundamental drivers of blockchain technology in Africa. Now, what are the human needs, the wants and desires behind this innovation? We all know how crippling the economy is across Africa. I always use Nigeria as my example because that's where I live, Lagos, Nigeria. So we are living in a continuously dwindling economic environment. And people's needs, people's wants and their desires are the key drivers. I mean, today we all have this record. We have access to the record that shows that cryptocurrency transactions in Africa is among the top 2 countries in the world where you have this type of volume. And why is that so? Because people fundamentally will have to drive anything that can improve their fundamental needs. I mean, their wants and the desires, they constantly will continue to look for how to hedge themselves from the prevailing economic circumstances that they find themselves. I mean, they didn't create them. But they found themselves grappling with them. So you can't stop them from looking for how to get their solutions. So cryptocurrency, which is also a key part of blockchain technology, is being driven basically because of the wants and desires of the citizens of the continent. Why is this innovation relevant today in Africa? And what are the key drivers? I just mentioned some of them. And of course, I also mentioned that we have broken systems. We have infrastructure that we require to build out the technologies that can help us solve most of our problems are non-existent. So we have these entrepreneurs, we have these innovators, startups coming out, utilizing this blockchain technology to build out new solutions, to build out new products, to build out new services, which definitely will help to change the fortunes of Africans. So what changes would you need to implement to make this innovation applicable or available to your customers? I mean, if you're an innovator, if you're a startup founder, you are an entrepreneur, then you need to understand that this technology is here for your own use. Yes, we have other issues that we need to deal with that has to do with policy, regulations, and all that we've been grappling with government agencies. But come on, you can start working with the fundamental rules and regulations that are already out there in related fields. And of course, you can build out test products. Now, let's look at where Africans must deploy blockchain technology. Yes, blockchain technology is not a silver bullet that solves all our problems. I'm not saying that every one of Africa's problems will be solved with blockchain technology. No, it will not. And fundamentally, too, it is not meant to be so, because blockchain technology is advantageous only when having a public immutable record of something is the desire or has an advantage for you or for the people who want to deploy it. But when there is no benefit to have a public immutable record of something, then blockchain technology doesn't make sense for you to use. In fact, when you bring it into a situation where it's not required, it complicates the issue and increases the cost of its operation because it's not needed. I mean, simple cryptography can go a long way to solve most of the security problems because cryptography was there before blockchain technology. So it didn't come in because of Bitcoin. It didn't come in because of Ethereum. We have had cryptography and some of the technologies that behind blockchain technology long before the advent of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you could use bare-faced cryptography to solve some of your security issues. But if you have to, if you think there is an advantage of having a public immutable record of something, then that's the moment to start considering blockchain technology on a serious level. So let's look at where I think the biggest opportunities are and the lowest hanging fruits for now. Records, record keeping, immutable public record keeping, immutable public record keeping. So whether it has to do with land registry, whether it has to do with medical records, whether it has to do with the court records, census records, any record at all, anything that has to do with public recording, it is important that such projects, such infrastructure are migrated to blockchain-based infrastructure, because that is where people's trust can be restored. I mean, when you are sure that the land that you paid millions of naira to buy, that the records are intact, then you have trust in the system that is maintaining that record. The same with medical records, the same with court records. I mean, every now and then court records gets missing. I mean, they just vanish into the thin air. And you can't have trust in such a system. I mean, you wonder why young people are angry against the government. You wonder why young people want to want to get out of this environment. You wonder why many of them are so dissatisfied with the government that they don't want to be a part of the system. It's because the trust is not there. The trust is not there. The systems are not designed to provide trust to the citizens. Everything is opaque. I mean, you don't even know when they say that so and so politicians were cursed with XYZ amount of money. You never get to know his name. Everything is shrouded in secrecy, mystery, and opaque. I mean, it doesn't build trust in any way. Now again, the good news is at least Customs Service was able to implement part of their supply chain system using blockchain technology. I mean, they use decentralized ledger technology, which is also a part of blockchain technology to improve part of their processes. So supply chain management is a key area that we also need to look at. Then we have the decentralized finance and remittances. I mean, the fact that you have this opportunity to, transact beyond borders, you have this great opportunity to send money or receive money without any inhibitions in terms of borders. It's a huge opportunity. I remember 10 years ago or more, the West African Economic Group, I mean, ECOWAS, have been working on, a common digital currency. I mean, blockchain technology solves that problem single-handedly. I mean, what else could you deploy that could work in Nigeria, work in Ghana, work in Cote d'Ivoire, work in Benin Republic, and so on? I mean, a blockchain-based decentralized finance system, or even if it's a DLT-based system, solves that problem also. And trade and industry can actually blossom across African continents when blockchain technology is deployed. Another key area that is a low-hanging fruit is certificate verification. I mean, this is a key area that we need to drive. I mean, how can you grapple with the knowledge that someone is operating as a medical doctor, but he has no verifiable proof that he has that knowledge and that experience? This is a key problem. There was a couple, I think there was a time I read the news about a particular lawyer that was caught, and the news is that the lawyer had been practicing for over 10 years, and he never has a law degree. He never had a law degree. He never went to law school. So certificate verification is key in solving Africa's problem. We need to verify that people have the certifications that back up what they claim. We need to verify that the institutions that issue those certifications are valid institutions. And this could make things a lot easier for everyone, whether it's academic certificate or professional certificate or whatever certificate at all. Blockchain solves this problem for every one of us, and we will be at peace and will be at rest. I mean, why wouldn't we want something to be verified flawlessly? I mean, I find it so difficult to understand why we are wasting time with this technology. Of course, I've already mentioned trade and commerce across different countries in Africa, which is a key important factor that Africa needs. The next thing is aid distribution. I mean, there are a lot of money that is sitting at the Africa Development Bank that has been provided for Africa's development. But I know that key problem that they have, because we've had opportunity to have some kind of talk with people at Africa Development, is lack of the transparent process that can manage the distribution of funds. Blockchain solves this, and I'm going to be sharing an example of one of the projects that solved that problem in a fantastic way. So let's take a look at some of the blockchain projects that are arising from Nigeria or Africa. Let me just use the word Africa because Bantu Blockchain is an African blockchain technology initiative that is designed to create an opportunity for Africans to participate and have their own rightful share of the blockchain industry. So Bantu Blockchain is an infrastructure blockchain where governments, whether it's government, whether it's private organizations, they can build out their blockchain solution on top of Bantu Blockchain. Then we have Bundle Africa, which is a mobile app that is driving the unbanked into the bank. I mean, they are using blockchain technology to make it easy for people to transact and send money across borders. I mean, before the CBN restrictions of its financial services, it was a fantastic platform. It's still a fantastic platform for Africans to use in transacting across borders. Then Charts. Charts is a humanitarian aids application for managing its distribution. I think this project came out from Convensity, some blockchain company that is based out in Abuja. Now, during the COVID, of course, we're still COVID, but last year, that's 2020, during COVID palliative distribution, we had some embarrassing situations where billions and billions of naira were purported to have been distributed to Nigerians as palliatives. And I couldn't find anyone around me who got any of those palliatives. And eventually, some warehouses were spotted where the palliatives were actually stocked and hoarded. I mean, it breaks the heart of people, donor agencies. I mean, we donated materials, we donated money, we donated funds for you to distribute, but you don't have a system that could distribute it. And at the end of the day, many of those palliatives were destroyed because of lack of use. So we need a system that can manage the donors, manage the NGOs that are helping in the distribution, and also manage the vendors. And that's what Chats does. Mona on its own is a social app that enables people to save in US dollar because of the depreciating local currencies that most Africans found on them. On Mona, you stake your money. First of all, you're able to convert your money, your local currency, whatever currency it is, you convert it to USD. And, you know, it's a digital USDC, and when you stake it, you are paid a certain percentage every day. It doesn't matter what the conditions of the economy are. The Omona will make sure that you're paid every day, a percentage agreed. They also have QDAX, which is also building out a decentralized application. We have also Zen Finance, which is also a fantastic platform for cooperatives to put money together to help themselves, borrow and all that, and earn interest on their contributions. So in the midst of all this, we know that Africa still has to roll over the policies and regulatory environment that has held it bound up to this moment. I mean, we don't need to think that there will be a day when the best policies and the best regulatory instruments can be put in place once. No, this is an emerging technology. This is a technology that, I mean, before the one aspect of the technology is completely exhausted, another one comes. I mean, you wake up today and you are hearing something new. So the best is a risk-based approach. I mean, manage the operators, deploy the necessary instruments that government already have. Know your customers, anti-monitoring regime, anti-terrorism. I mean, there are ways that you could regulate without stifling the environment. There are ways that you can regulate without, I mean, driving innovation underground. There are ways that you can regulate without forcing the participants from going under. And that is what I think that Africa needs right now to jumpstart the growth and development of blockchain technology across different jurisdictions. Thank you so much for listening to me. I will appreciate if you have questions. You can send in your questions. I want to be sure that I'm operating within the time frame that is allocated onto me, and that's why it seemed as though I speed up my presentation. So thank you so much for listening, and if there are questions, please let the questions come in. I understand that I still have 5 more minutes before I sign off. So thank you for listening. Are there questions?
Hello, Chimezie.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a question that says, please, how does one build blockchain skills?
Okay, thank you so much. And yes, this is actually one of the key concerns that we spotted out in the industry about 2 years ago. The lack of the skill sets that is required to build out these new tools and these new solutions. And that's why Blockchain Nigeria's Guru has partnered with several blockchain companies to help to educate people and raise new talent groups that will sufficiently be knowledgeable to build out these new solutions that we're talking about. In Blockchain Nigeria as a group, we started Blockchain DA2021 initiative, and that initiative partnered with IBM, partnered with Binance, partnered with Solana, partnered with Stellar Foundation, and other projects like Tezos and ViteLab. And what we do in that is we had the opportunity to have access to the developer community of these platforms. And from time to time, they create content. So you can start your journey by, if you join Blockchain Nigeria's group today, it's possible for you to enroll in some of these training environments. And we also maintain a curated resource environment for blockchain developers where you can do self-learning and learn how to, if you don't even have any blockchain skills at all, and you are interested in getting one, you can start with the foundations of web, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And once you are done with that, we migrate you into Solidity development, which is also a flavor of JavaScript. And basically, except you are building an infrastructure-based skill, then you will not really need core developer skill like Java or Python and all those ones. But if you want to stop at something like smart contract development, then skills around JavaScript will be extremely useful to you, and you can actually get involved in learning them even on your own. Then we also have hackathons that we help to organize and bring in a lot of people. Currently, we have 2 hackathons running. We have one by Solana Foundation. We have another one being run by Binance Lab. And each of these gives you opportunity to not just learn how you can build blockchain applications, but also exposes you to processes and every kind of opportunity the environment opens, and also gives you opportunity to even win some kind of funding to support your early stage ideas. So I think is pretty straightforward. I think if you are interested in that, probably I'm going to share the link to Blockchain Nigeria group, Telegram group. You can join the group, then we can fix you anywhere you like. Also share the link to our online platform where we have resources that could be very useful to you to learn. Hope that answered your question.
Okay, I'm waiting for the feedback for that. However, from the conversation you've had, I believe that Digital Africa and Blockchain Nigeria can also come together to organize a hackathon, because you can never have more than enough hackathons. So I'll be coming back to you for that.
Yeah, okay, absolutely.
So there's another question that says, I think it's a comment, I understand the value in blockchain. Is there a pool of talent that can be recruited or leveraged on from Blockchain Nigeria? As we build our renewable energy startup, we don't want to focus on blockchain as a core, but want to integrate it.
Okay, like I said, talent is never, at least for now, is not really enough. And every single day I get people requesting for blockchain talents. So what we have done is to have a pool, so to speak, of developers. And what they do is they work remotely. And sometimes if you have project-based engagements with them, they can just deliver on your project and you can move forward. Part of what makes that work for us best is that you can trust the community itself, and also trust the leadership to help to ensure that the people that are appointed to work with you deliver on your project. And you also have the opportunity to control how they eventually behave when it comes to delivering on the deliverables that you have for them. So yes, we have some kind of pool that you could leverage to get the talents that you need for your project.
Okay, so I guess that's all with the questions that we have so far. Thank you so much, Chimezie. Thank you for giving us your time, and thank you for that educative session on blockchain.